Welcome back to Home Wizards. Cindy Dole here.
Hey, I'm Eric Stromer.
And we love to improve your home and improve your life. And what better way than to kind of scoop and snoop out what's happening in terms of the great, cool things for your kitchen and bath at home.
And I'll tell you, improving my life, what does that involve?
Food.
And what does food have
Bacon.
to be? And no, but what does food have to have in order for it to
Cooking.
be preserved?
Oh, refrigeration.
Refrigeration.
All
That's right.
okay.
Thank you.
Well, I knew there was a link somewhere.
Yeah, I was trying to get there.
Well, we love to kind of scope out all the good things, and there is a lot to share with you over the next couple hours. And when Eric and I walk the halls of, well, here we are in Chicago. This is one of the biggest trade convention centers in the country, and it's called KBIS, Kitchen and Bath Show. And one of the things in the kitchen, of course, many of the things is refrigeration and freezing and preservation. And well, this is a guy who's very well preserved, right? Alan Feldman with Liebherr. And when you hear
he might be the most handsome man in refrigeration.
Larry Feldman is very well preserved because, well, it's the refrigeration that does it.
Absolutely.
Does it?
Absolutely.
Tell us about Liebherr.
Well, Liebherr is a European manufacturer of premium refrigeration product. We first brought the product here to North America 8 years ago now. And some of the things that make Liebherr different than the other products that are out there is the dual cooling. Liebherr never shares that dry air from the freezer to cool the refrigerator to cool your foods like most other manufacturers do.
So wait, traditional refrigerators will use the existing freezer temperature to then recycle into the refrigerator? Is that what you mean?
Correct.
So that's the origin of the cooling.
Correct. In other words, your control on the refrigerator, the warmer, the colder, the slide, the dial, whatever it might be, is controlling how much air flows from the freezer into the refrigerator.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And so hence you get some produce, and we all love fresh produce, and it starts to get wilty or mushy.
Well, exactly. What it is, once you take air down to 32 degrees, you crystallize all the moisture. So when you take dry air and warm it up, it expands. The air starts absorbing the moisture in the refrigerator to fill that space, and the only moisture is the moisture in your foods. So in a Liebherr dual refrigeration system, we never share freezer air in any model into the refrigerator compartment. It's like two separate units. Your high moisture foods, produce, meats, cheeses will last twice as long.
Interesting.
Wow.
See, I did not. That's an amazing thing to know, and a great differential between conventional refrigeration and what these guys are doing.
But it's not just about the preservation or how much longer it'll last. Your foods will also be better for you.
And more vitamin rich, right?
Because when you evaporate the moisture out of the foods, you're losing the minerals.
See, we got Eric's attention. He's all about the antioxidants.
Well, you know, we now have a deficiency in magnesium, which is essential for creating good health, and I would imagine this would contribute to that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So how does that happen? How does the refrigerator keep the vitamins more infused?
The air in the refrigerator has a high level of moisture. It's humid.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
So it's sucking it
out.
So
if I've already got moisture in the air doesn't need to absorb additional moisture from the foods.
And so are you guys the only one doing this?
We're not the only one. We're one of the very few here in North America. We are the only manufacturer in North America that we do it in this cabinet depth freestanding category. So it's not just the consumer. The consumer out there doesn't have to think that they can only get this benefit in buying a very expensive high-end built-in refrigerator.
Got it.
We do it in everyday core type of products. Everything that Liebherr does is about better preservation, more energy efficient. That is really the heritage of the company and the family that owns this company. Everything, even our wine cabinets, our humidors, are all about better preservation.
See, we always love to get to the wine. Eventually, you know, sometimes it takes us to landscaping.
But most of the time it takes us to wine.
But yeah. So anyway, tell us.
So wait, in terms of refrigeration, dry, cool is optimum. Correct?
No. Moist cool is optimal.
Moist cool is optimal. I thought you were trying to leach out all the humidity out of it.
I don't want to take the dry air from the freezer
and
move it into the refrigerator.
Got it.
Because then the dry air absorbs the moisture out of your foods.
Okay, understood.
But talk about, though, your veggie drawers with this whole what it's called, BioFresh technology, because we all run into this. I mean, we're all going into farmers markets or trying to eat better with great fresh. I mean, you're having your veggies and fruits delivered to you.
Now, yeah, the organic stuff
so
delivered.
That's great, but you waste money if it doesn't stay alive or stay fresh long.
Well, alive's a good terminology because
alive.
if you think about going to the market,
Yeah.
You've always got the misters over the produce, keeping it alive.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what a dual refrigeration system does.
Oh.
Then Liebherr takes it to another level, and now we offer the BioFresh feature in every size category that we have. BioFresh is actually a separate cooling compartment within the refrigerator that's even colder. Just above freezing is the optimum preservation temperature, the longest where your foods will stay the longest, and also create the highest humidity. What Liebherr has patented, though, is not just the colder compartment, but a fan system moving the air so it never freezes in there as well.
Yeah, because that's the worst. That's happened to me where you put a great, head of romaine lettuce. I'm ready for that yummy salad. I just bought it earlier in the day, and by night, it has almost like a frozen crispiness to the outside. I'm like, oh my gosh, what happened to that?
Now, and then with the movement of air, keep it sort of free of getting mildewy as fast.
Correct. Correct. As a matter of fact, it's a real simple analogy. If you think about the citrus groves freezing, you see the farmers out there hosing down the crop and putting electric fans out there. It's exactly what Liebherr does in the BioFresh system.
I see.
Now, I was taking a peek at your freezers, too, and I love, Eric, I was telling you about how they have these compartments inside if you were to have a lower freezer drawer. It isn't just like one open drawer, but there's separate little containers, and some have plastic and some have glass, right?
Well, in the freezer, they're all plastic.
They're all plastic.
And those are our frost-safe bins. And just that, they protect the foods from freezer burn, from frost. They also are very energy efficient because I don't lose my cold air every time I open up the door.
Yeah.
I can organize my food.
I love that.
I can utilize every single square inch of that freezer. I can take the drawer out and actually load it on the counter.
And you can get a frozen turkey in there, too,
Absolutely.
right? Can you get hold of that, a frozen
So wait,
turkey?
you can take the drawer out and then use it as a storage facility while you're loading it from your counter or your grocery bag, and then just put it back.
And
put it right back
the
in
same
there.
for the refrigerator,
Great idea.
too. That you have some of your little compartments. You can take it right from the refrigerator to the dining room table,
Right.
to the kitchen.
So if you look at the outside of the drawer, you'll see your frost build up from opening and closing the doors. But inside the compartment, your food is protected from the frost.
And then that idea or concept of freezer burn.
Yeah.
What is that when they talk about that?
Well, freezer burn is just the moisture crystallizing on the outside edges of your foods.
I see.
And no different than getting windburn on your skin on a cold day.
I love this. It's taking the refrigeration to the next level, preserving the vegetables longer, nutrient-rich stuff stays that way.
It's
I
really
think
great.
Yeah.
And the wine, too. You have a couple of refrigerators that are married to not only the veggie freshness and the freezer, freezing meats freshness, but then right nearby you can have not only red wine, but white wine. And all that temperature is balanced.
Well, in the wine cabinets, what we have are two separately controlled compartments so that I can keep my white wines at the perfect temperature, I can keep my red wines at the perfect temperature. But other things that we do to help preserve the wine besides just the temperature, for example, is the LED lighting on the inside.
Yeah.
Everyone talks about UV protection in the glass. You don't want the UV energy or the UV rays from damaging the wine inside the bottle, yet you got hot light bulbs inside most other cabinets producing UV rays.
Additional heat, yeah.
So in the Liebherr units, you'll see this nice LED lighting, no temperature, no energy coming off of the light.
LED is big here at the KBIS show. We're seeing it in everything. We'll talk about that, yeah.
And it's also very energy efficient.
Yeah.
If you look, if I could just summarize and tell you what makes a Liebherr different.
We only have 30 seconds. Go ahead.
And that's about better food
Okay.
That's better food preservation, more energy efficient, and virtually silent operation in all of our products.
Ingenious. Larry, what is the website? How can people find Liebherr? Because the spelling is a little tricky.
Liebherr is spelled Liebherr. That is the family name that owns this company. And
so it's simply Liebherr.com and people can find it?
It's Liebherr-appliances.com.
Very good. Larry Feldman, thanks for sharing us these brilliant refrigeration techniques. And the humidor, you have to go to the website, I guess. We didn't get to talk about the cigars. Are you a cigar guy?
No, but I've participated in a lot of cigar events with the humidor.
See, I'm seeing you as a cigar aficionado.
I'm seeing me as someone that has a poor refrigerator now, and
I
now I'm
know,
just jealous and I
know.
want one.
All right. Well, we have more great things to share with you because we're discovering it all here at the Kitchen and Bath Show. Thanks again, Larry Feldman,
pleasure.
with me
Thank
there.
you so much.
Up next, we're going to talk about solid surfaces, making decisions for your countertops, and also some really smart cabinetry. Speaking of LED lights, you're going to love these, Eric, as you find a way to reach up for a cabinet, and there's a lever, and it almost becomes
automates lighting.
automated. It's very cool.
This is
Anyway,
good.
all the great things that we're finding at the Kitchen and Bath Show here in Chicago. Eric Stromer, Cindy Dole, we're back in a moment here. Don't you go away.